Just the other day, I was walking with a coworker, and we got on this topic of leadership, strategic goals, team performance. You know, that type of conversation. Well, we landed on something that doesn't always show up in most of those conversations, but quietly defines whether leaders succeed or burn out. Space. Not physical office space, mental space. Space to think, space to breathe, space to create, space to stop reacting and start designing. We started talking about how leaders need to block off hours, not for tasks, not for meetings, not even for people, but for vision, for the not doing part of their job. Because here's the truth that nobody really teaches you in management training. If you're always doing, you're not leading. You're executing someone else's plan. You're moving through someone else's calendar. You're reacting to someone else's fire. And over time, you become the bottleneck. Not because you're not smart enough or skilled enough, but because you haven't given yourself the one thing every good leader needs: room to think. We forget that leadership isn't just about how much you can get done. It's about how clearly you can see what needs to be done. And that clarity, it doesn't show up in a Teams meeting. It doesn't show up in back-to-back calls. It shows up in the quiet, in the gaps, in the stillness where vision has room to rise. Now, I know how hard this is. I've been there. You finish a week and your calendar is full. Meetings, emails, decisions, delegation, approvals, and yet you didn't actually create anything. You didn't imagine anything new, and you didn't dream. You didn't stretch. You didn't pause. You just managed. And if that goes on for too long, you risk becoming efficient, but no longer effective. Busy, but not visionary. In charge, but not in alignment. Here's something I've learned over the past couple of years. Leaders are only as good as the people around them. That includes the people above them, beside them, and beneath them. Because leadership isn't just about direction, it's about perspective. And you can't gain perspective when you're buried in your inbox. So I want to challenge you with this. This week, don't just schedule your meetings. Schedule your margin. Block off an afternoon, or take Friday morning, or just go get out of the building. Go sit in a cafe, put your phone away with no agenda, just a pen, a notebook, and a question. What would it look like to lead better next week? Not harder, not faster, just better. Maybe it's making something simpler. Maybe it's coaching someone who's stuck. Maybe it's seeing a pattern that's right in front of you, but buried under urgency. Give your brain the room to move from firefighting to future shaping. Because leadership isn't just about making decisions. It's about making space for better ones. So here's the challenge. Before this week ends, I want you to put one block of time on your calendar. Not for meetings, not for doing, just for thinking. Call it whatever you want. Vision hour, white space, CEO time. I don't care. Doesn't matter. What matters is that you protect it. Because you can't build what you haven't made space to imagine. And if you want to lead better next week, start by giving yourself room to think this week.